Deploying for mission. Mission confirmed. Hit 10 headshots. Destination, Kenjutsu Crossing. Making my way there with full possible speed. As it follows our usual plan to land as far away from the bus route as possible, I don't expect to run into many loopers while on the island. On the other hand, I also don't expect to run across any field notes on the Chalice. However, I know as well as you do that you have a plan, prioritizing the ranked quests first, then everything else after. Although, not every unit has been successful in their mission. I hope to be one of the units that are. However, it depends on who I meet, and what weapon I pick up beforehand. The distance to the destination has been cut by more than half by this point. However, it's still over 500 meters. Not by much anymore, but still. It won't be too much longer before I start skydiving. That will cut distance significantly. At least, vertically anyway. Horizontally, the zig ray is good for that. Making final approach to Kenjutsu Crossing. This is perhaps the best pagoda on the island. Many places to hide, great loot, formerly including the kinetic blade, and, should I get the appropriate weapon, and am being pressured, the building's interior is made of wood, so my opponent wouldn't like to stick around should a fire break out. Nice starting weapon. This would help significantly in achieving headshots. A blue Maven auto shotgun. Along with the medkit, that was a great way to start the round. However, I'll try not to get overconfident, like V-17A4 did. Still, I will note that some aggression will be needed in order to complete this mission. As such, I will need to be vigilant, becoming a mechanical hunter in my own right. I will attempt to track down a manageable looper, and eliminate them with headshots. Patrolling the roof for possible victims. From this vantage point, I should be able to see them from a good distance away. However, I too am really obvious to see. I mean, I'm a black and orange assassin droid on a dark green roof with golden trim. There's no way I could be camouflaged. Still, if they were to fire a sniper rifle and miss, my self-preservation programming would kick in, and I'd hide, and force them to come to me. And if they do, I will make every attempt to shoot them in the head. That is my plan. That's how I intend to protect myself. Now let's see if I can actually execute it exactly like that. Picking up a tactical pistol. Automatic weapons also are great for hitting headshots. The way that they spread out on each subsequent shot makes them somewhat unpredictable, so the Maven auto shotgun is still more reliable, as the spread of the shells is visible on the reticle, and can be accomplished in one shot instead of several. Therefore, I have more of a chance hitting a headshot with a Maven auto shotgun. Now entering another building to search for chests. One has already pinged on my sonar, proceeding to investigate. I got a shield potion from that chest, and it looks like a red-eye assault rifle was in that chest too. Proceeding to drink the shield potion. Shield will soon reach 100%. Now moving on with the rest of the round. I think it would be a good idea to search this cash register for more funds. You would need some for the materials you need to make more battle droids. I have found a significantly weaker Maven auto shotgun, which I'll just pass right over. And with that, I believe this building has outlived its usefulness. Time to move on. Those rifles you keep telling us to disregard sure are common. With how often you tell us to pass them over, I wonder what the charm really is. Anyway, entering into the next house. There appears to be a combat SMG, which I will replace my tactical pistol with. After also grabbing a flapjack rifle, I believe I will make my way out of the building, and onwards to the mission at hand. I now have 3 of the best weapons for the headshot mission, automatic, and shotgun alike. Now I just need to find a victim which I can use my shotgun on. Again, I will try to keep a level head, though I will reiterate that some aggression is required to complete this mission. And since this is one of the only missions I have access to, it makes it that much more important to complete. The research notes are about to be engulfed by the storm. Ignore them for now. Yes, my lord. As you wish, it shall be done. Besides, I wouldn't have been able to get there in time. At the moment, the storm is 49 seconds away from closing. I would not be able to make that journey on foot. If there was a grind rail from Kenjutsu Crossing to Shady Stilts, maybe that would be a more possible trip. However, as it stands now, there would be a 30% chance, being generous, of me being able to get to Shady Stilts, stealing the research notes, then escaping the storm with a significant amount of health left. If you wanted me to chance it, I would obey, but as you told me to move on with this instead, I will do as I'm told. Now entering this building, and searching chests for better weapons. And I think I found one in the case of the drum shotgun. The spread of the shells seems about the same as with the maiden auto shotgun. Now hiding out in this building. As I said, some aggression is required, but overconfidence is a death sentence. We saw that through V17A4's sensor. There would be no point breaking these slurp barrels right now, as I have full health and shield. This would be a good opportunity for ambush, should an opponent be stupid enough to come in here. It may not be so easy aiming for their head when I'm under pressure and unprepared, but I feel like I could do some serious damage still. Now leaving the building, and moving on to the next destination. I see Mega City up ahead, but as V17A4 was eliminated there due to his superiority complex, I am apprehensive about traveling there myself. However, if you want me to move in to complete the mission, I will do my best, and if I get eliminated, I apologize in advance. Until such time as I obtain such orders, I will continue along this road, searching for victims to headshot. While sprinting, the spread doesn't seem as much as with the maiden auto shotgun, but I should know where to aim in order to hit their head. I mean, look at the square-shaped reticle. That shows the area where the shells would hit. Aiming for just below the neck, probably as low as the middle of their chest, should guarantee a headshot or two. Aiming much lower than that, however, and asking for a headshot may be asking for too much. Although, while merely running, as opposed to sprinting, the spread seems either identical or, perhaps, a little smaller. Regardless, as you've told me to avoid Mega City at all costs, that's what I'll do, taking the bridge in the opposite direction. This appears to lead into Frenzy Fields, yet another hotspot. Perhaps not as notable as Mega City, but many loopers land here as well. I'm not sure if there are still any there, but we may soon be finding out. Investigating Gong Shrine for any signs of better weapons. Mostly, medium ammo seems like the only thing I found here. Not a single chest to be found, not even on the roof. So, where are they? Wait, how is it possible to put chests on lily pads? Wouldn't that weigh them down and make them sink? That makes no sense. Oh well, whether it makes sense or not, I managed to get a better combat SMG out of the first one. And, of course, you know I'm going to grab it. A better weapon is a better weapon. Out of the second chest came that ever annoyingly present rifle. Now this is getting stupid. Oh well, at least I managed to secure a second medkit. And some metal, which is the strongest building material you can get. So much so that it's recommended to save the metal for the final battle, as, since metal is the strongest material, it is also the rarest. While you can harvest wood from trees, and stone from boulders, metal has limited sources. Granted, those sources are pretty common, none of them really grant you as much as trees or boulders. And the only reason I say trees give you wood instead of buildings, and boulders for stone, is that they're the best source of their respective materials. Metal doesn't really have a best source, as there aren't any refined metals around the map just in random places like trees or boulders. Another great source of material, should you be able to eliminate them, are enemy loopers that have spent a lot of time farming. Alternatively, you can risk competing against an enemy looper and try destroying a loot llama, which grants a ton of ammo, medical supplies, and building materials. Of course, I've already mentioned the risks associated with this strategy, as you'd be competing with a looper, and in ranked battle royale, that's not something you've encouraged, my lord. As such, I dare say that I would be better off with the strategy that I'm employing right now. Land far off the bus route, search chests while keeping a low profile, and if an enemy attacks, try to use the best weapons and tactics, or we will be swiftly eliminated. Given how badly you react to us being eliminated, that would not be a good idea. Anyway, I'm taking a zipline across to the other side of the Japanese quadrant of the island. Or, at this point, I guess I should say sector, seeing as how there are more than 4 biomes on the island. There's this section, the autumn sector, the winter sector, the grassland sector, and the jungle pit sector. And that's out of the sectors that I know of. I glossed over it a little bit again, but I managed to eliminate an enemy looper, with 3 shots registering as headshots. Now grabbing a shield potion, as my current shield is at 52%. For this, I will be briefly replacing my 6 small shield potions. And now that my shield is full again, I can go ahead and pick my small shield potions back up. I've noticed from looking at the mission list that one of the missions is to travel distance while grinding, which I made progress on by grinding across Neon Bay Bridge. Ironically, in his final moments of his round, V-17A4 also got progress on it while briefly trying to run away from his assailant. And maybe another unit that was deployed either earlier or later did it too? Sometimes it's hard to pick apart the data they fed to me. Anyway, another mission is to complete a job at the bounty board. I expected you'd respond with that. Not right now. Not in ranked battle royale. Very well. I'll move on with the headshot challenge. I have now entered Mega City, and now increasing self-preservation protocols to the highest levels. This is where V-17A4 got eliminated. More specifically, the battle started somewhere close to this street. I just need to stay vigilant, keep my sensor opened, and keep my head on a swivel. So just go down this street, see what I can find, while also remaining on lookout for any signs of trouble. This place sure isn't short on restaurants, that's for sure. Glider detected on sonar. Engaging fight or flight mode. Glider has vanished, fight or flight mode disengaged. Now entering this garage. I mean, it looks like a garage. It has a shutter like one. And the owner of the building stores objects on racks like most people do in their garages. Even we do that with our repair torches. Anyway, there wasn't much better loot than what I've already got in the chest. Just some small shield potions, which I've long topped off on, another green submachine gun, wood, and light bullets. The glider, or a different glider, returned, and the owner went from gliding to grinding on one of the grind rails, indicating they have every intention to stay a while longer, and pick off whatever looper is stupid or unfortunate enough to be wandering the streets. Fortunately for me, I'm not in plain sight, so it will be a while before they take interest in me. Still, self-preservation is fully active, and stealth is a top priority for me. As such, mission or no, I have every intention of remaining here, waiting for my chance to ambush and eliminate any assailant who springs my trap. Checking all entryways for possible threats. Area is still secure, resuming ambush planning. My sonar picks up gunshots every once in a while, so while it is secure inside and around my garage, it's not so peaceful somewhere in Mega City. I'm almost certain that's where the gunshots are coming from. As such, I'm not going back out anytime soon without a good plan, or unless the storm decides to close in again, and I'm not within the next predicted eye, which would be about my luck. Whichever comes first. If I were human, the sheer suspense would be crushing. Depending on how good my nerves would be in that moment, I would probably have rushed out already, and got eliminated by the looper, due to not knowing where exactly they were. As it is, my self-preservation programming is clashing with my mission programming, as the mission is to hit headshots, which I can do cooped up in this garage. However, going out there, as I've said before, could lead to my elimination before I even get to hit anyone else in the head. It's a troublesome paradox, so I believe I'll stay right here with ambush mode activated. I have now spent 2 minutes in the garage. Humans would have to be very patient in order to accomplish the same thing, and have nerves of steel. However, for an emotionless droid like myself, this is child's play. I will stay however long I need to in order to wait for things to calm down, or if the storm moves, forcing me to. In the latter case, there would be nothing I could have done. We just have to cut our losses and move on. Speaking of the ever-frustrating situation of the storm moving and myself not being in the next predicted eye, the inevitable has indeed happened, and I am being forced to move. Moving towards the sushi restaurant. However, there may be loopers in there. Although then again, there are definitely loopers out here, so what would the difference be, besides closed spaces, and possibly fewer numbers? Nothing. That's what. I will search any chest I find in here to further increase my chances of completing this mission. There are 11 loopers left, and many will be at least near Mega City in, if not this eye, then the next, or next few. 11 loopers in a small area would guarantee that someone would find someone else, then one of those 2, or 3, or more, would fight in a free-for-all in which only one will emerge victorious. Except, I was one of those 11, and I have no interest in trying to hunt down loopers in Mega City, as V-17A4 did exactly that, and got eliminated. Overconfidence is a scary, dangerous mistake, one that can cause your elimination if you can't recover, as V-17A4 learned the hard way. I should try to avoid that by any means possible. Still, as I've said at least thrice before, I still have to utilize some aggression in order to complete the mission, or else, it won't get done. I just cut through the library, and went through the window into some sort of building with weird stands and trash and possibly recycling receptacles. I hear a sensors, and they're registering on my sonar, but they are outside, so I can't get to the looper making noise. Or loopers, as the case may be. Regardless, I will try to do what I can to hit the remaining 7 headshots. The longer I wait, and the less enemy loopers there are, the harder this mission will be in the end. So, that's my current situation. Now engaging a looper in combat. They appear to either be an architect, or be hiding in an architect's structures. This is extremely dangerous, but I have a mission to do, so it's either now or never. So in that case, wish me luck. Hiding in the base of the structure so that I'm harder to see. This opponent is definitely an architect, as they're still building their structure. Firing some shots at the structure to get their attention. They seem to be a little agitated. I saw their footsteps on my sonar just a few seconds ago. They are really moving around, trying to either find me, or avoid further shots. I'm hoping they jump down soon. Going up there myself is just asking to be shot and eliminated. They just jumped down, engaging pursuit mode. As I'm doing this, I'm also gaining further progress in the distance traveled while grinding mission. However, that is but one mission in the pile. Opponent detected, engaging in combat. Opponent has been identified as an architect. This won't be easy. Fortunately, the flapjack rifle is great for destroying structures, so given I have one, it shouldn't be too hard to put them under pressure. I was hammering their structures as hard as possible, making sure to follow where they went in order to possibly get a headshot or two. Now hiding within their walls, waiting for the ultimate opportunity to get the mission done. As my opponent knows I'm here, I'm not going back out there. If they truly want a piece of me, they will have to come down here to get it. Now applying the medkit, as my health is at 44%. Or whatever a battle droid equivalent of health is. Anyway, now my health is almost full again. Now time to edit this wall, and try to figure out where my opponent went. Are they still up there? Or did they move on? That is the question. I will keep my sensor open for them, above, below, in front, behind, or to either side of myself. Architects are extremely dangerous, as their building skill is only matched by their combat skill and aggression. I just took enemy fire, building a roof to prevent further damage. This is it. Make or break. Whatever decision I make here will be the difference between success or elimination. There is no middle ground, there is no margin of error allowed. I have to think smart from here on. Please, for your sake, V17A6, don't mess up. I'm now hiding in this bush so as to keep my opponent from knowing exactly where I am, and as such, it's harder for them to hit me. Not impossible, just harder. What will have no difficulty hitting me, however, is the storm, which just now caught up to me. Now the stakes have been raised substantially. Now I have 2 things to worry about, the other 6 opponents, and the storm. Fortunately, neither eliminated me yet, so I still have a chance to complete the mission. At this point, maybe a 20% chance. Like I said before, the later in the round it is, and the less loopers there are, the harder any combat mission will be. And given I have to hit one of the smallest parts of a looper's body, this could be the hardest combat mission they could give me, and now, I'm in combat. My shield is at 0%, and health is at 59.
Nicely done. You actually lasted a lot longer than all the rest of the 10 cans. Keep it up.
Video corrupted. Attempting to make up the difference. Mission accomplished. Distance traveled by grinding. Also, the rank mission was completed, as well. My apologies. Alright, now that I've finished that, time to move on with the rest of the round. Maybe this time, my sensor will actually record the mission. I will have to be checked for the flaw that caused my recording system to malfunction. Hopefully, I can do better. Anyway, time to see what else I can find in terms of weapons, ammo, medical supplies, and building materials. Enemy detected on sonar, self-preservation mode activated. Reloading flapjack rifle. Flapjack rifle fully reloaded. Drinking shield potion. Enemy spotted. Taking fire.
And this is why you either build or hide, idiot.